Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to do an IG live with you. It has something to do with this blanket, and I'll tell you why in a second. And well, this is weighted, and it is really heavy, like 30 pounds or something. I'm going to add a guest on to talk about what weighted blankets do. It's kind of cool. Hey Elizabeth, are you on? Actually, she's coming on right now.
Dave!
Welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm wearing a weighted blanket, and my arms are getting tired because. Has anyone ever used a weighted blanket for squats?
Um, yeah, no, good idea.
This is I think this is the 25-pound blue blanket or something, and it's meaningfully heavy. Like, throw it at someone, but I was thinking if I just like wadded it up and was like doing squats, it would be good for me. Yes?
Yeah, workout from home.
I think that it's kind of funny when you wad up a weighted blanket, what it feels like. So I wanted to share with my followers why I've been sleeping under one of your blue blankets for, well, I don't know, 6+ months now. And just talk about it because I care a lot about sleep, and you care a lot about a lot of the things that matter, you know, clean products and things like that. Just wanted to share the cool stuff you're working on. So tell me about weighted
Totally.
blankets.
Yeah, so, well, you were just demonstrating a weighted blanket. It is heavy. I have one right here. This is the 12-pound mini size. It's
Oh my God,
smaller.
come on.
Yeah, yeah,
Do better.
12, but it's smaller, so it's kind
Oh,
of like just on your body instead of being spread out. And what these blankets do is that pressure sort of just goes on the body, contours it, applies a gentle, even weight. And it does something to the nervous system that is similar to like when you're a baby being held or hugged, and helps it feel sort of swaddled, safe, and soothed, and triggers a response in the body that's a relaxation response. So it helps people de-stress, relax, release anxiety, and it's also super helpful for sleep.
I spoke at the Autism One conference a long time ago, and weighted blankets emerged from the autism community where you'd have kids who were like kind of moving all over the place and wouldn't really know kind of what to do, and you put them under a weighted blanket, and it's like holding a struggling puppy. It just like melts. And
Yeah.
I bought one of the very early ones, but I didn't use it more than a few times. Oh wow, weighted blankets work, because I'm like, I have no idea what hunks of metal are in this thing and whatever else, and I don't like the idea of sleeping under a lot of plastic. So I was pretty stoked when you came out with a quote clean weighted blanket with glass and real cotton and all. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, I thought the same thing actually. So when I first tried a weighted blanket, I thought it was a pretty amazing experience, like beyond amazing, really powerful. So when I looked at what was in the market, I did see a lot of synthetic materials and a lot of blankets that were using plastic beads for their weight. And I wanted to do something that was going to be more thoughtful for the users and also for the environment. So we're making the only quilted weighted blanket on the market that uses only cotton, and our weighted fill comes from glass beads. And you'll see other brands now that are making cotton weighted blankets, but a lot of times, well, every other time, they're actually using polyester inside for the filling and for the batting. It's just a cheaper material, and you know, when you're using it, you don't see it, but if you know it's there, it's there. So we're just using 100% cotton.
My take is if you're going to spend a third of your life underneath something, you probably want it to be made right. This is why I'm such a fan of anything you can do while you're asleep that gives you an advantage. Like, well, you were going to spend the time anyway. So if your mattress is better, or a mattress doesn't have flame retardants that mess with your hormones like most of them do, or it provides adequate support, or if your blankets aren't messing with you electrically or have potentially chemicals and things like that, I like it. So I wanted to share with people here. I actually use this thing. I have for a long time. And I noticed a difference in my sleep quality. It's one of those things where I just
Awesome.
always do that.
It's so fun having a product like this because we hear that every day from people. It's like life-changing, especially if you can't sleep, that be able to sleep well it's like you take it for granted unless you're struggling with it, and then it's the biggest life changer.
And I wanted to let people listening know, if you want to get one of these for the holidays or just to improve your sleep, yes, it helps if you have corona sleeping issues too, in that you're freaking out about it. It calms the nervous system in a really like vagal tone specific way. Use code DAVE20, and I'm working with Baloo, so that way you can save 20% off, and it's a really good thing to do. So if you want to upgrade sleep, this is a good way to do it, and I think it's worth people's time. Have you seen any problems from people using weighted blankets? Like other people who like shouldn't use it?
Not really. It's one of those things where pretty much anyone can give it a try. I have seen some research, like after extensive digging, that says that maybe if you have strong sleep apnea, don't try a weighted blanket. So that would be the only caution I would give. And there can be some sensitivity in joints or back. Say you have like arthritis or you have knee pain, often you're sensitive there. For that, we would just recommend starting with a lighter weight blanket and go with the 12 or 15 pounds. We go up to 20 and 25. But if you try with a lighter weight, almost always it's not an issue.
I definitely have a history of sore joints. Hey, there's Wellness with Mana coming on. Giovanni's just coming in. And there you go, a weighted blanket there, saying I love mine. So if you have one, tell me in the comments here. I'm interested. To this day, if I eat stuff that has mold, or if somebody sneaks some lectins like potatoes into my food, I wake up with really sore joints, which is why I know what to eat that's compatible with me. But when I sleep on a blanket, I've never experienced sore joints that were any different than anything else. So, but I could see maybe if you have really extreme things where you have a problem with that. And apnea is weird because you need to breathe if you're not breathing a whole bunch. But I've seen no evidence either. And I actually dug really deeply on the literature on this when I interviewed you for the show. But I just wanted people listening, a lot of people have never heard of a weighted blanket, or it just sounds weird. But it's that thing. Anyone who's held like a struggling puppy or a baby who's like, like when they're really young, and then they finally just melt. It's that melting thing you're trying to monitor your nervous system. And I experience it. If I go to a hotel that doesn't have it, I'm like, oh, I kind of miss my weighted blanket.
That's what I think is so amazing about it, is so many things that you do to take care of yourself or calm your mind, body, meditation and things like this, they work, but they take some effort in the beginning. And this is a passive experience. You put it on and your body reacts automatically without you having to do anything.
People are asking for your URL on here. What's the URL?
It's Baloo, BALOO, living, LIVING.com.
All right, I'll post it for you guys. And the code is Dave20 because everyone wants to save money right now. And this is a meaningful discount too. There you go. And if you want to check it out, if you're thinking about a weighted blanket or you're just looking to upgrade your sleep, meaningful investment. And this is a clean product. And guys, I get a lot of people reaching out with just random products. Sometimes they find me out and they just send me like stuff I have to recycle. So there's a very high bar for me to use something, and then there's another bar for me to recommend it. So I have to use, it has to be worth using, and then I've got to try it, and it has to work, and then I'm willing to talk about it with you. So that's kind of what this has gone through. And after I've used it for 6 months, I'm like, absolutely, let's talk about this.
That means a lot.
Yeah. So we don't have to keep people for too long, Elizabeth. Just wanted to say thanks for making something good. I wanted to share it with followers. And guys, I'm very serious. If you are thinking, what the heck? It works. Like, try it. It's simple. You just put it on your bed, and then you don't think about it anymore, except that you sleep better. And that's the deal.
Yeah. And we are having extended returns for the holidays. So if you buy now, give it as a gift. The person has until the end of January to return it if it's just not for them.
Oh, that's cool. So there's the risk there.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 people asking washing instructions.
Yeah. So ours are machine washable and dryer safe. Up to the 25-pound weight, we say you can wash it at home. After that point, it gets a little bit rough on your machine. So just to spare your machine, I would say take it to a laundromat. But they dry super fast because it's basically just a little bit of cotton with the weight coming from the glass beads, which obviously don't hold water. And another thing I think we should talk about is if they trap heat and make you hot, because that's a question that we get a lot of times. People think a weighted blanket means that it's going to be a hot blanket. And I actually designed this when I was living in Bali and we didn't have air conditioning. It was like 80 degrees. And I was thinking of all the people I know, especially women in menopause or who struggle with being hot at night and want to be able to sleep. You know, you still want to sleep. So these are super breathable. And that's one of the things that makes them, I think, really unique compared to other brands is just how cool they stay during the night.
And part of it too, if you have a big puffy blanket, it's huge amounts of air in there, but this is one that doesn't have a lot of air. So if it's cold, actually put another blanket on top of it because it basically is going to conduct the heat away from you because it's not an insulating blanket. And let's see, there's a couple things here. Andres Baloo just came in today and is excited. J-Book Music says, did I miss why sleep apnea is an issue? If you have severe apnea, they recommend avoid anything that could compress the chest. But if you're working with the CPAP, it's probably not a big deal. And you could the legs. And let's see, Darcy just posted a link we did of our podcast together, which was cool. And there's another question in here. I love this. From Cook Dance Love says it'll change your life. And Miss Magneto says her on the spectrum daughter has complained how a winter duvet is still too light. And has never tried one of these, so might be time there. And so this washable, like guys, look, it's not the cheapest blanket in the world. Someone here is saying, oh, you know, but look, it's full of glass beads. It's 100% natural, and it has a physiological mechanism. And you could sleep under hefty bags if you want to, but sometimes it's not unfairly priced, given what it is, given it's a clean product. It's from a small company, and everything is done right. And if you want some things done wrong, yeah, you can sleep under thinkers. It's okay, but you know, you get lead. So
I've seen a couple questions too asking about kids, and I would say that these started off as tools for kids, especially kids with autism. I've talked to so many parents of children with autism who haven't heard of weighted blankets, which is, you know, it's amazing to me that every medical professional is not telling parents about these. But we have our 12-pound being used by kids a lot, and it's a great tool for kids.
I had Asperger's syndrome when I was younger. And people are like, well, it's not curable. Yes, it is curable. If you're lucky and if you do the right things, you can rewire your brain. You can make your mitochondria work better. It's just a lot of work. So, and it runs in my family. I can tell you when I was younger, my legs would just go all over the place. I'd have that restless leg thing. I don't tend to have that anymore, but I will tell you, I feel calmer under the blanket. Before I had the blanket, I would sleep in 3 minutes. I still go to sleep in 3 minutes. I don't have it now, but I can still feel a calming effect. And I hear Freedom Farm Malibu, a weighted blanket helped get me through a terrible breakup. One thing that I think is important right now, I did an interview with the guys who make Apollo Neuro, Dr. David Rabin, who's a psychedelic researcher, but also very into psychology and psychiatry, which is his training. And he talked about how we're not getting hugs. And I would not be surprised at all if, you know, you're getting a lack of contact, that getting the physical sensations of this, it would be really good for your nervous system. We know that vibrations can simulate the effect of oxytocin. Are there studies about your weighted blankets and oxytocin levels? Does it go up?
Not weighted blankets specifically, but there are a lot of medical studies on the concept of deep pressure touch, which you can observe through massage, which is the same concept that these blankets are using. And the studies on deep pressure touch show that it increases levels of serotonin, and serotonin has a relationship to melatonin. And we know those are the feel-good hormones, and then also the trigger that tells your body it's time to go to sleep.
I think that makes sense to me. I love these comments. Like, I don't know who you are. I don't know how I followed myself from your account. I'm not following your account. If you don't like what I do, there's an unsubscribe button over there. You can click it. Like, I'll be okay. It's all right. Well, we love you anyway. Now, is there anything else that's like cutting edge about weighted blankets? I know that anyone who's feeling stressed and having a hard time sleeping, this is one of those simple things. I think the majority of them will work. And I've written about many sleep hacks. We've done the sleep challenge and all. Anything else to share, or should we let people go?
I think that's it. It's simple. It's elegant. There's no cutting edge technology. It's just nice materials, thoughtfully done. And I think that anyone who hasn't tried it should give it a try.
All right. I would double down on that. So if you guys are looking for the holiday things, please go for that. Check it out. The code is Dave20, Baloo, BALOO living.com. And you're talking to the founder here. You can ask whatever questions you want. It's a real thing. And I want you guys to know about this stuff you haven't heard of that's real, that works. And now you got one.
All right.
All right. See you later. Bye,
See ya.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.